see. Let's see. I don't see me live yet, but I think it's gonna happen soon. So let's just wait. Do 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 do. I still see the wheel dead, and there I am live. Yay! Hello, everybody. It's very nice to be. I think it's been about a month since last time I was here. I'm Rocio. I'm one of the group moderators in this. I should be writing really big group. I'm also a resident writing coach in Kathy Masek's team. And if you're listening live, I would love for you to write something on the chat so I can see you there, and know that someone is paying attention or that you can hear me because in the past sometimes you cannot hear me. So anyway, it will be nice to say hello. If you're watching the replay, please go ahead and write in the comments hashtag team replay, and then we know um, that you listen, and tell us where you're watching from because it will be cool to see all the different places that we have represented in the audience. Today, I wanted to come live to talk to you about writing as your superpower. This is going to be a interesting topic because I don't think that we are used to seeing writing as part of our superpowers, or that we even have superpowers. And so I kind of wanted to pose this idea that and actually listen to the podcast this morning. I don't know if you've heard, but the podcast came out for Kathy, and she talks about how writing can be an organizer of a series of things, organizer of our thoughts, organizer of our time, and ultimately organizer of our career, so that it can propel that. And so what I wanted to come in here and share is that, not only is writing a driving force in our career, but it's also part of our super writing, right? Our superpower, right? So writing in our career themselves, both of them, are in very specific ways, things that can give us power and be part of our superpowers. So I wanted to post three thoughts here, and I would love for you to hear, or love for you to tell me and share in the comments what your thoughts are on these thoughts. So the first one is that writing in our careers can actually have a can be a superpower, can have the power to support others, and that's a very specific ways. And if we think of the little things like writing recommendation letters or writing letters of support for nominations, perhaps we're nominating a colleague or somebody comes to us and says, can you write a letter of support? These are already ways in which our writing and even our career in many ways can not only give compliments to the people that we're writing these things for, but also attach ourselves, attach our reputation as scholars, attach our careers and what our careers say about ourselves in very specific ways, and support and give that power. And they have the power to support others and give the power for those to be seen from a different light because we are using our superpower writing in our career to support these people. So for example, just give you a few examples here. Um, if you are an expert in biogeochemical markers and you write a letter of recommendation for an early career scientist who's maybe transitioning to learning some of these tools. And I know that's very specific, but here we are. So not only are the people who are going to read these letters say, oh wow, such and such person writing this letter is not only a brilliant scholar, but also they lead with they're like pioneers in this particular subject, and they're supporting this person. So perhaps we can take a look at the application and see what they have to say about them. So in a way, writing just simply by doing these little actions are going to support others, and that is already empowering to them. It highlights our superpower, our power. For example, say you get a letter or read a letter from someone who has a certain reputation for leading with kindness. So being a brilliant scholar, but also as a person, as a human scholar, leading with kindness. Then when you read that letter, you know that that reputation is attached to that person, and you can say, okay, what is this person who's using their power from their words, their support, their career, and everything that comes with that to say something about this other person, this applicant. And so, all that to say that as simply using recommendation letters or anything else that we want to, even if it's a compliment on social media, that's one way to certainly use both our writing and our careers to to empower others, first of all, but also to show our power and support others. The second point is that our writing and our career can also have the power to support specific issues. So not just the person that we just talked about, or very specific people, but also support issues in general. So as a scholar, you perhaps get to write about specific issues that you care about as a person as well, not just as a scholar, but sometimes you can because of whatever field you are in. And so that may not be, where you usually write and where you publish may not have that space for you to write about things that you care about, um, in a bigger picture, not just the tools and the methods that you use, but the impact of them in society. However, I'm going to argue that you can still use your voice, your writing, and your career to essentially use that power to support very specific issues, particularly with our actions. And so, for instance, you know, say you are writing a social media post. That already says a lot. That's as simple as it can get. Perhaps you're not into social media. That's okay. Perhaps you are at a conference and you very very strongly, but also compassionately. You can side with a specific topic, and because of that siding that you do, because of that support that you give to specific topic, because of you simply walking into the room to listen to this topic being discussed, you going in shows others, particularly those who know you, that you are lending your persona, your career, in many ways, your writing is attached to your career to support that particular issue. So, in other words, we can certainly think of how our writing and our career can have the power to support specific issues, even when we're not necessarily writing about them specifically, and even when we're not um, making such a strong statement, but simply by siding with things because we shed the light, because we turn the light to those issues. And so that is to me particularly important because, you know, a lot of times as a geoscientist, particularly, I say, I can write about some of these things. Well, yes, I could. However, in the traditional journals that I write, perhaps not really. And so just understanding that my writing and my career and my reputation can still support issues without necessarily writing in that sense, but essentially modeling specific behaviors that can help shed the light on how much power one can have through both the writing and the career. The questions here, though, when it comes to supporting specific issues and even specific people, the question is, as we gather these muscles in our careers, perhaps when we're like early in our careers and we're learning how to navigate the academic world. Academia can be very unforgiving in many ways, particularly the culture of academia, right? And it can be very unpersonalized. And so, how do we do that and support issues that we care for and support the people that we want to support with all the other things that we need to get done so that we can actually have that career, right? So there's like this economy, and that's something that we have to struggle with a little, but also think about, in the end, what's going to align with our values, and not the career from the mechanical steps, but the career that's going to be us in our work and represent our actions. And so through that soul searching, I feel that that's one opportunity to shed the light on what we have power over and the power that we do have to use it, again, to support others and also to support specific issues. Um, Again, this is going to vary based on where you are in your career. It may require confidence, but it doesn't only require confidence, it also requires a communal shift in mindset and the right support. And so the question is, how do we achieve the shift in mindset if we can't do it alone? How do we do it in a communal way when sometimes we feel like we're the only ones fighting and maybe others around us are not? Then you need the right support. And how do we find that support? And so those are things worthy to consider as we are navigating these waters and understanding that we still have power in our writing, in our careers, to do all these things, to support others, to support specific topics and issues. And the third point that I wanted to touch on is that our writing and also our career also have the power to create change. And so I know some of us are tired of action because it had the weight of some action kind of like goes to specific demographics in many ways and in many areas, even in some fields. And so the question is figuring out how much can one do, how much do we have the bandwidth to do and create that change, but also realizing that, sometimes the little things can already help us harness that power and still create the change. I feel that it may be a little easier for people who are not in a marginalized population to affect some change and provide some support to those who are marginalized. But the idea here is that wherever we fall in the spectrum of, whatever our identities are, however much or little we can do, we can still create some change simply through our writing and our careers. The way we um, use our writing to be immersed in the writing process, the way that we build our career and how we model that, that's already in itself a call to action. And so I wanted us to have a space and just a little bit of a few words to remind each other that as tired as we may be, or as um, new to specific subjects in terms of justice we may be, we can still use both the writing and our careers in very simple, specific ways to create some change and help others in our communities. And so it all boils down to, when I say writing, I don't mean just the words on a page, although those can be powerful. I mean the action of the writing. I mean the process of writing. For writing to really impact our career, we have to realize that it's a process and everything's a process, right? But within the writing process, there are specific instances in which we can use that power to support others and to share with others. Um, and this goes to the little things. For example, if you're writing in a group and you're fostering that community, writing with community, it's already one way to model how our writing can give us power, can empower others. Mentoring, and that's also that can be can be trickled on and can be in our careers, but also in our writing. Mentoring others along the way of our growth and our careers. Also self-mentoring and modeling these actions can certainly help us create some of that cultural mindset shift that we need to be able to model the good action that we need for a more just field, whatever field it may be. Modeling self-maintenance that some people call self-care. I know I use it sometimes because it's easy. um, I have my own reservations with using self-care, but anyway, self-maintenance and doing the things that we need, from the basic things to anything else that we may need to sustain our writing and our careers and the process that goes with all of that. um, that modeling and that transparency in how we speak of all of these parts of the process, from the writing to the building a career, that already help us make a statement. It's already helping us use our writing in our career to have the power and create change. And again, it's the little things. So that's basically what I wanted to come here and talk about, how both the writing and our careers can give us power and can have the power to empower others through our voice and our writing and even our actions through our career, empower specific issues and give power to those, to shed some light, bring awareness, and also to start, changing the conversation and paying attention to things that perhaps align with our values, because we're scholars, but we're also human. And so the idea is, what is it that we talk about and the attention that we give, and how is that contributing to our community of scholars. And the third point was how writing in our career can have the power to create change. And again, when we think of writing, we kind of I would love for us to like continually step away from that image of just words on a page, because yeah, many times that's what it is. It boils down to that. And also it's a process that leads to those words on a page. And so the whole process, how we involve others, how we include others in that conversation of how do we get into the process and how that helps us build a career and make space for the things that matter to us, all of that also creates power and creates um, it has the power to create change. And so one of the things that I mentioned is some questions that I guess could be homework for all of us. Like, how do we do all these things and within this academic culture that sometimes is just unforgiving, that is not personal. It doesn't really want to pay attention to the people, mostly to the little soldiers and doing the things to check off the boxes and get the next promotion, which, fine. We want to do the promotions too. But how do we do that in a way that it still honors who we are as humans in addition to scholars? And so to me, it's a combination of things. Yeah, we need some confidence, but that doesn't come from anywhere, not always, not for some people. And so how do we help each other get there? We need a communal shift, for sure, in the mindset, and also the right support. And so what I wanted to share also at the end of this live is that I have seen some of that shift in mindset, not just through momentum in the program that I mostly talk about, and how we use mindset maybe there, but also through a very special program called Amplify. Amplify is the first program that when I joined Kathy's team that I kind of like jumped in and started coaching through, and and it was a joy and it was an experience, and the idea is that through this particular program, and now it's going to be a 6 month program, you almost like get on this journey of understanding where you're coming from, understanding your milestones, creating a path to really use your writing and your writing process to create that, to shape that career on your terms. So it's not simply checking boxes. You do get to check boxes along the way, but it's the boxes that matter to you, the ones that allow you to use your power to put yourself at the center of everything, to prioritize your needs and your wants, and also help your community and around anyone around you to be able to, grow with you as you grow, as you harness these superpowers that come with our writing and in our career. And so I guess I'm already a little out of time here, but I wanted to make sure that you all knew that Amplify is actually going to start recruiting people to join the program. We already have some people who have joined. We're starting like heavily in the summer, and there will be an info session in case you want to hear what this program is about, the cause, the curriculum, and whether it would be a good idea for you to have it in your life. I would love to because like I said, it's the first program that I joined and started coaching with, and it was a joy because I have seen the transformations, I've seen the change in mindset, and I've seen the growth of very amazing clients. But not only the amazing clients, I've seen that also in myself and that of our coaching team. So it's a beautiful thing. All right, so Amplify. The session is called Writing and Publishing Strategically: How to Go Out for Tenure with Confidence. It's gonna happen on June 23rd at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm gonna put in the comments the link to sign up. And again, it's a free info session, so no commitment. You just go and figure out if this is for you or not, and then we'll go from there. All right, it was so lovely to be here with you. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you next time. I hope you are safe and you're well and have a wonderful rest of the week. Talk to you later. Bye.